Hey, Washington Commanders fan. Today, we're going to talk about all the behind-the-scenes negotiations and understand the rationale of the management for the upcoming signings. Adam Peters and Dan Quinn are doing a commendable job, bringing in big names like Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil to strengthen our roster. The idea of competing for the Super Bowl, which once seemed like a distant dream, is now more present than ever for the fans. But are we really ready to take that definitive step? Stay with me until the end of the video because we'll discuss the one concern that remains for those hoping to see the Commanders at the top of the NFL. And, of course, don't forget to leave a like. It just takes a click. It's quick, and it's all I ask. To start, even with all the bold moves since the end of last season, there's no denying it. Some gaps in the roster still keep those following the team up at night. No roster is perfected in just one offseason, and even though the main needs have been addressed, a stronger issue has surfaced in the past weeks: the need to bolster the group of pass rushers. Honestly, I've also found myself wondering if there wasn't enough emphasis on this area when building the defense for 2025. Pro Football Focus articulated this point well in its analysis of the Commanders' new roster construction. The club's focus during signings was clear. The offense was a priority, and investments were centered on pieces that could turn Jayden Daniels and company into a scoring machine. But while the offense promises to light up the fields, the defensive unit, more specifically the pass rush, doesn't yet fully impress. Dorrance Armstrong, a standout from last year, led the squad, but ended with only a 14% success rate. For a team aiming to be champions, this rate needs to rise. Knowing the importance of this, recent rumors have linked the Commanders to Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals, one of the best in the position. The idea sounded promising, but it collided with the player's high salary, something the management preferred not to sacrifice to maintain financial flexibility. The alternative lies in the free agent market. Names like Von Miller, Matthew Judon, Jadeveon Clowney, and Zadarius Smith are available, and although none provide a long-term solution, they could be intriguing answers for a full playoff season. The problem is that reinforcing with veterans of this profile would indeed be a temporary solution, a real patch in building a sustainable defense project. It's still unclear if the Commanders will indeed invest in another pass rusher or rely on the evolution of the existing base. On the other hand, with NFC East rivals heavily investing in strong offenses, pressuring the quarterback becomes a matter of survival in any decisive game. I, as a fan, am torn. Is it better to bring in an experienced name now for immediate results, or wait for the development of our young defensive talents? Despite this debate, there's no denying that the current crop, filled with promising youngsters, will provide many options for the coaching staff when assembling the defense on the field. Betting on the growth of homegrown players might surprise and potentially reveal a new name nobody expected. The fans' hopes are high, but the consensus is that one piece is still missing to complete the equation and turn potential into trophy cabinet glory. Now, I'm bringing you a special analysis on the promising start of a name that's already beginning to draw attention at the Washington Commanders rookie minicamp. If you're someone who enjoys monitoring who could be the year's big surprise, stay with me until the end, because this topic goes beyond the spotlight on the most hyped rookies. We have a genuine hidden gem starting to shine in Washington. And, I'll tell you now, our receiver rotation might get even stronger than you imagine. Leave your opinion in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with other fans so everyone can follow the future of this roster together. The week at the Commanders Training Center is in full swing, gathering newly drafted players, undrafted free agents, and athletes in testing phase. For many, this is the moment to prove themselves, as each day could be the turning point between an NFL career and the last practice with the team. Among the most talked about names, first-round picks Josh Connolly Jr. and cornerback Trey Amos are receiving most of the attention and expectations, as was predictable for those arriving with high status. Yet, gradually, a prospect selected on the third day is already changing the minicamp narrative. Jaylen Lane, a wide receiver chosen in the fourth round, was initially viewed as an intriguing addition, but what he accomplished in these first practices impressed even those who expected just gradual growth. It's worth noting that Lane was one of the most celebrated picks by fans and analysts right after the draft, mainly for his above-average athletic potential. The detail is that even though his talent showed in flashes at Virginia Tech, it was clear he lacked a truly solid scheme and a top-tier quarterback to showcase everything he could do. Now, with a new setting in Washington, Lane began to bear fruit from day one. Already during warm-ups, Lane showed versatility, quick changes of direction, and precise cuts, details not unnoticed by the coaching staff or the journalists present. His initial receptions at the minicamp garnered praise. And honestly, as a fan, I'm excited to see a rookie so in sync with the playbook and the quarterbacks right from the start. Of course, the road is long, but making a good impression right away can open doors for meaningful participation in the rotation during the regular season. It's worth highlighting that the Washington Commanders receiving group is among the most complete in the country, especially after this offseason's moves. Terry McLaurin remains the technical reference, and talks of a generous contract renewal are already in the air. The arrival of Deebo Samuel has increased the offense's firepower, and together with names like Noah Brown, KJ Osborne, and the potential resurgence of Michael Gallup, the group gains a lot of experience. Not to forget second-year player Luke McCaffrey, who also promises a quality leap. What's great for us, the fans, is that the coaching staff intends to give Lane every opportunity to compete on equal footing, rather than keeping him just as a backup option. If he manages to maintain the pace and also impress with punt returns, there's every chance he could secure a valuable spot on the roster. The minicamp is just the beginning of a long evaluation process, but with the way Jaylen Lane has emerged, it's easy to dream of more dynamism, surprise, and even big plays from someone not under excessive media pressure. Of course, we're still in the early stages, and we all know practice videos can be deceiving. The atmosphere of OTAs and preseason games will tell a different story. However, what's clear is that Lane has the physical and mental attributes to carve out a solid path and stand out, perhaps even sooner than expected. Now imagine the impact of this group if a new name steps up to share the spotlight with McLaurin and Samuel, making life even harder for NFL defenses. Now we have some hot news that could involve a key defensive player for the 2025 season. If you enjoy following all the behind-the-scenes negotiations and understanding management's thinking, stay until the end of this video, because this topic is one that really affects those who track Adam Peters' decisions. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Would you bet on a reinforcement coming from the medical department, but with so much potential? This week, the 49ers officially announced the release of defensive end Drake Jackson, a second-round pick in the 2022 draft. The reason? He did not pass the physical designation due to a knee injury, but the expectation is that he'll be cleared by the start of the next training camp. The connection to Washington emerges quickly, as Adam Peters, our general manager, knows the young talent well from his time in San Francisco. For the fans, this lights up the possibility of a reinforcement arriving, especially considering the defense's needs. It's worth noting that this wouldn't be the first recent case of the Commanders betting on a familiar name recovering from injury. Just look at the example of wide receiver Noah Brown, who arrived after being released by the Texans due to physical issues. Many questioned this move at the time, but Brown ended up being crucial in key moments of the season. This showcases how strategic the coaching staff is, understanding the player's profile and betting on those who can turn things around and deliver more than expected. Drake Jackson, for his part, entered the NFL with high status from USC. And despite playing less than 40% of defensive snaps in each of his first 2 years, he managed to record 6 sacks in his short professional career. The athlete's optimism is palpable. After being released, he posted on social media that he's going to cause havoc as soon as he's back on the field. Seriously, fans, it's hard not to get excited about this attitude and determination to prove value, especially in a group seeking more explosiveness in the pass rush. Of course, there's natural skepticism surrounding his recent injury history. Jackson was out for the latter half of 2023 and missed the entire 2024 season, raising doubts about his condition. But if medical reports confirm a full recovery, the idea strengthens that he could be that surgical reinforcement capable of elevating the Commanders' defensive rotation. Additionally, his flexibility, serving as an end and occasionally as an outside linebacker, could be a significant asset for Dan Quinn's system. Currently, management has tinkered little with the group of edges during free agency or the draft, even amidst fan demands, prioritizing names like Dietrich Wise Jr. and Jacob Martin. Both were signed to compete for spots, but neither possesses the athletic potential or impact history of a healthy Jackson. It's clear there's room for the team to gamble on another signing, especially with coaches who enjoy revamping talents undervalued by the market. For the more observant fan, betting on Drake Jackson aligns with the philosophy of controlled risk, bringing in someone with potential, recovering them physically, and placing all bets in the hands of a coaching staff that has surprised before with such projects. The scenario serves as a warning. Careful evaluation is necessary, but the reward could far outweigh the investment, especially in a defensive rotation where youth, energy, and the desire to grow can make a difference in big games. To conclude, I leave that question that only you, passionate fans, can help answer. Is betting on a name like Jackson an intelligent strategy to fill the pass rush gap, or should the team aim higher and seek an immediate impact solution? Write in the comments, subscribe for updates, and share with other fans. The path to the season still holds surprises, and maybe the next big defensive turn is closer than we think.